Small Agents is a library that enables you to run powerful agents in a few lines of code. And as the name suggests, it is really small and the logic for the agent fits in 1,000 lines of code. Moreover, it also provides first class support for the code agents, that is, agents that write their actions in code as opposed to agents being used to write the code. And it also provides support for executing in the sandbox environment. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can install the small agents locally, run a few examples on it, and then I'm going to show you how you can create a full fledged agent using the small agents library. Alright, so let's get started. Right now, I'm in the official GitHub repo of the small agents, which is actually present inside the Hugging Face repository. You can see that there are a large number of files which are used to install the small agent. And here they've also provided us description about the simplicity and the first class support for the code agents. Moreover, it also has support for any LLM, including the Hugging Face Inference API, OpenAI, Anthropic, and almost any LLM via the Lite LLM. And that's exactly what is written right here, that it supports model hosted on the hub, loaded in the Transformers version or through Inference API, but it also supports model from the OpenAI, Anthropic, and many others via the Lite LLM. So you have two options. Either you can go for the Hugging Face hub and use the Inference API in order to load the models from there, or you can select the models from the Lite LLM. Now I'm going to show you how you can use it by installing it. So for the installation, I'm going to use the Google Colab notebook. The installation of small agents is really simple. You simply have to run the command pip install small agents. Once you run it, it is going to download and install all the dependencies which are needed to run the small agents. Once everything is successfully downloaded and installed, now I'm going to show you an example of how you can use the code agent provided by the small agent in order to perform certain operation. So if you head to the GitHub repo once again, under the quick demo, you can see that here they have provided us a code chunk in which they are using the code agent to perform certain operation and get the response. So I'm going to copy this code from here, head back to the notebook and paste the code right here. So here you can see, firstly, it is importing the code agent, the DuckDuckGo search tool, and the Hugging Face API model from the small agents. The code agent is actually going to perform all the tasks in the form of code and will provide us the final output. Then here we are initializing the code agent inside which you have to provide the tools and the model. So the tool is going to be the DuckDuckGo search tool, because here we actually want to perform the web search in order to fetch the response. And for the model, here they are using the Hugging Face API model, whose default model is Qwen 2.5 Coder 32 billion instruct model. But if you want to use any other model, you can always go ahead and change any of these parameters to use the model accordingly. And once the agent is created, next they are simply calling the run function of the agent and providing it the prompt. So here they are saying how many seconds would it take for a leopard at full speed to run through the Pont des Arts. So here they are using the DuckDuckGo search tool, because if for this particular prompt, they need to get the length of this particular area along with the speed of the leopard, and then make the calculations in order to provide us the number of seconds it would take for the leopard. But before running, make sure that you have access to the Hugging Face CLI, but if you don't already have it, then you simply have to run the command Hugging Face CLI login. Once you run it, it is going to ask you for your Hugging Face token. So here inside this text box, paste your Hugging Face token and hit enter. And then it will provide you a success message saying the login is successful and your Hugging Face token has been saved. Now once you have done that, simply go ahead and run this code, and you will see that in order to fetch the answer to this question, firstly it is executing the code. Here firstly it is performing a web search where the query is to fetch the length of this area. Once the length is fetched, now it is executing another web search where the query is to find the top speed of the leopard. And once it has fetched all of this information using all these different resources like Wikipedia and different URLs, now it has the length of Pont des Arts, which is 155 in meters, and the leopard speed in meters per second, which is 26.82. And on the basis of these values, it is performing the calculation by dividing the length with the leopard speed. So on the basis of the calculation, it has provided us the final answer to be 5.77 seconds. So you can see that in order to provide the answer to our basic question, it provided us the code, and it wrote all of its actions in the form of code rather than providing us simple text. So this was the example which was provided by the official GitHub repo. But if you look at the code once again, here it is using the Hugging Face API model. But what if you want to use any other model which is provided by the Lite LLM? Well, that's possible too. I'm simply going to copy this code from here. And here you need to make a few changes. Firstly, from the small agents, in addition to everything else, you need to also import the light LLM model. Then before actually creating the agent, you have to define the model. You can define the model by actually initializing an instance of the light LLM model where you have to provide the model ID. Here I am going to use the Gemini 2.0 Flash experimental model from the Gemini, and you have to provide the API key. So once the light LLM model has been initialized, now we only need to pass this model right here inside the agent in order to use it. So here, instead of this, we are simply going to provide the model. And now let's go ahead and change this prompt to I'm gonna say what was the result of the 2024 US elections. Once you run it, it is once again going to provide its actions in the form of code. You can see that it is performing a web search on the basis of 2024 US election results, and it is looking at all of these resources. You can see it is going through Wikipedia, it is going through CNN Politics, BBC News in order to fetch the information. And on the basis of all of these resources, it has provided us the final answer that Donald Trump won the 2024 US presidential elections. That's cool. So up till now, I've shown you how you can run the code agent provided by the small agent with the Hugging Face Inference API model and with the models provided by the Light LLM 2. And here we are using the tools and the agents which were predefined. So now I'm going to show you how you can use the small agents to create your own tools and your own agents for any specific purpose. So here I'm actually going to create a text to SQL agent which is going to take a text prompt as an input. It is going to convert that text prompt into a SQL query, run it on our local database, and then provide us the response. So for that, firstly, we need to install SQL Alchemy, which can be done using the command pip install SQL Alchemy. So after installing the SQL Alchemy, next we need to define the database and the schema. And in order to do that, I'm going to use these lines of code. Let's quickly go through them. So here firstly, from the SQL Alchemy, I am importing certain libraries. Next, I am creating the database engine and the metadata. So the database engine actually creates an in-memory SQLite database. This means that the database is temporary and stored in RAM. You can also provide the path of your actual database right here, but I'm going to go with the temporary one. Then after creating the engine, I am creating a metadata object that holds the schema, which contains the tables, the columns, and their relationships for the database. Next, I'm going to define a SQL table. The name of the table is going to be receipts. And here I'm initializing a table object by providing the table name, the metadata object along with all the columns with their name, their data type, and if they are a primary key or not. And after creating the receipts table, I am calling the create all method from the metadata object, which is actually used to create the table in the database. So this line is actually going to create this table inside the database. After that, we are creating rows, which is actually a list of dictionaries, each representing a record or row for the receipts table. And all of these different keys match the column names in the receipts table. Now we need to insert all of these rows inside the table which we have just created. For that, we are firstly iterating through the rows, and this line is actually going to create an insert statement for the receipts table using a row of data. So every time it is going to fetch one row from these rows and is going to create an insert statement to insert that row inside the receipts table. Then where we are initializing our transactional connection to the database, and then we are simply executing the insert statement to add the row inside the table. So overall, these 4 lines of code are actually going to insert the data which was present in all of these rows one by one inside the receipts table. Next, we are inspecting the table which is actually going to query the database schema. And then in order to verify that our table has been successfully created along with all the columns, we are simply fetching the table description and printing it. So overall, this entire chunk of code is actually going to create a temporary SQLite database inside the RAM. Then it is creating a database schema using the metadata object. Then inside using this metadata object, we are creating a table called receipts having these 4 columns, and we are adding that table inside our SQLite database. After that, we are defining the rows for the table, And then in order to add it, we are iterating through the rows, creating an insert statement for each row and adding it inside the table. And then we are finally printing the table description. So if I run it now, it is going to return me the columns of the table along with their data type. So if you get an output like this means that your table has been successfully created. Next, we need to create a tool for the agent. So previously we were using the predefined tools, but now I want to create my own tool for the agent, which is actually going to convert the text into a SQL query. And for that, I'm going to use this line of code. Here, firstly, from the small agents, I'm importing the tool, and then you have to provide this annotation to inform the small agent that the following function is going to be a tool. So whichever function you want to convert it into a tool, you simply have to provide this tool annotation. And then we are actually defining a function called the SQL engine that is going to take a string query as an input and is going to return us a string 2. And here we have also provided a docstring for the tool that tells us what this tool is about. So it allows you to perform SQL queries on the table, returns a string representation of the result. The table name is receipt, and these are all the columns. So it is going to take a query as an input and is going to execute that query on the table. So inside this function, we are actually making a connection with our database schema. And then once the connection is established, using the connection, we are going to execute the query on the table. And all the rows which satisfies the query will be returned and will be stored inside this rows variable. Then we are going to iterate through this rows variable in order to fetch the output and store it inside a new string and return the string. So this returning string is actually going to return all the rows which satisfy our query. Let's run it to see if there are any errors or not. Okay, so it ran without any errors. This means that the code is fine. So now once you have defined the tool for the agent, the only thing that is left is actually run the agent with your tool. And for that, I'm going to use these lines of code. And this code is pretty much similar to the code that I was previously executing. Let me show you where. So if you look at this code, where I was showing you how you can use any LLM provided by the Light LLM model, we were firstly defining the model by initializing a Light LLM model instance, defining the model and the API key, and then we are initializing the code agent by providing it the tools and the model and then running the agent. So here for the tool, we were using the predefined DuckDuckGo search tool, but now here in the new code, instead of the DuckDuckGo search tool, I want to use my own search tool whose name is SQL Engine. So here inside the code agent for the tools, I am going to define the tool which I have just created. The model is going to be fetched from the Light LLM model. The model ID is going to be the Gemini 2.0 Flash Experimental, and you have to provide your API key. Once you have defined the agent, now you only need to run it using the run function. So firstly, I'm going to ask it, can you give me the name of the client who got the most expensive receipt? So in simple words, you can say that I want to get the name of the customer who has the highest price for the bill. So once you run it, once again, it is going to perform actions in the form of code. So for that, firstly, it is running the query that says select customer name and price from the receipts. And it is running the query on the SQL engine, which is the tool which you have just created. And it is actually printing the results. So firstly, it is fetching all the customer names and the prices of all the customers from the receipt. Then on the basis of that data, it is actually matching the data through a regex and is performing the algorithm to find out the maximum values out of all the values it has fetched. And on the basis of this execution, it has provided us the answer that Tony Stark got the highest receipt. So let's verify it from our data set. Here we have Tony Stark. The price is 89.99, and yes, this is the highest among all of them. So now if you want to run some other query on the table, you can simply use the agent.run function, and here you can provide it a different prompt. So this time I'm gonna ask it that can you give me the name of the client who gave the lowest tip? And once you run it, it is once again going to perform the actions in the form of code. It is going to perform the SQL query where it is extracting the customer name from the receipts order by tip in the ascending order. And then on the basis of this code, it has provided us the final answer that Alex Mason gave the lowest tip. Let's verify it from our dataset. Let's look at Alex Mason, and yes, the tip is only 0.24. So the answer is absolutely correct. So in this way, you can ask any number of questions from this database using the agent which we have just created. So you can see that just by writing a few lines of code where we were creating our own tool, using that we were able to create an entirely new agent just by passing it to the code agent provided by small agent. So in this way, you can create any agent of any size that you want by writing a few lines of code using the small agent. I highly encourage you all to try it out for yourself and let me know in the comments what you think about it. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.